Hi, it's Etharal here for EGN, and today we are back with our Mount and Blade Warband Warhammer mod. So obviously we have in the last couple of episodes been managing to get ourselves set up as one of the Lords of the Empire. As you can see there, we have also just managed to be given the option to create our banner on our way to the Marshal to actually begin, I believe, the assault into the northern wastes with the Chaos. Hopefully be able to go and actually reclaim some of the lands that we had obviously managed to claim in the earlier first episode, but obviously had unfortunately been retaken. Hadn't managed to hold them as they are quite sort of distant from us, unfortunately. So obviously here Michael has obviously just accepted a mission to be sort of the first one to go into the Chaos Wastes to go get some actual sort of scouting reports and things like that from the actual Chaos Waste. So we're just going to skip ahead here, manage to, have a pretty uneventful journey up into the snowy north, although that isn't to say that we are going to have any issues here. We managed to spend a good bit of time actually, looking around, making sure we're taking the long way around to these areas. Obviously there is probably going to be quite a few of the Chaos guys, and sure enough there should be, but an army of nearly 400 guys, well now over 400 guys are actually around Mount Vania, one of the areas that they were wanting me to scout. So it takes some pretty careful maneuvering. Thankfully I am quicker than all of them, so I am actually able to get in and out, and hopefully be able to get to the different sort of villages and things like that they want me to go to. It's going to take a little bit longer than I would have liked. It does spend a good while actually getting through and getting all of these areas, but we do manage to scout them all for the count. So we are quickly going to, once we've gotten that, get the hell out of there. Basically we are not waiting around. We know we're not going to be able to fight all those men. However, on our way back we do run into a Count Wolfram, who is up here trying to sort of be one of the first people up to try and push the claims into the north, and so we are going to actually accompany him, as he has obviously 130 men, well 131 men plus himself. We have about another 149 total as well, so we are going to make sure that we help him out to be able to, push back some of the chaos. While this isn't an actual count we managed to find, we do manage to find a little chaos patrol here, so I think it's safe to say that we are going to move in on them and hopefully take them out, as we are sort of outnumbering them 3-1. So we move in to attack this force. Obviously we are mounted and everything, so we are going to ride ahead with the first guys. We'll just mention that we do need to remember though in this one obviously to stay pretty mobile, as obviously we do not have particularly heavy armor at the minute, and so I think if we do get bogged down then that is something that we will come to regret. So we're just sort of jumping in, taking the swing, taking the odd marauder out where and as we can, and obviously we are obviously missing quite a bit. It's one of the things in this game I find a lot is that sometimes it can be not the easiest thing in the world to actually be able to know where you're actually swinging your weapon. The actual tracking for that does seem to be a little bit strange sometimes, which is a bit of a shame, but it could be a lot worse I suppose, at least. So we are just going to keep moving in and out, jumping where we can and everything, and then obviously we will hopefully in the next couple of episodes do think we want to save up to get some thicker armor so that we can actually be able to join in on the actual main frontal assault sort of thing, and maybe keep a little bit more bogged down. You have seen there as well, obviously a load of new troops have arrived. Thankfully most of these guys with them just being patrols don't really have any sort of corn troopers with them. They mainly just do have a load of actual chaos marauders who, while are not the best troops in the world, they obviously rely on numbers, they're quite lightly armoured and things like that, but they give me something good to actually take down and fight myself, and not too much trouble. Obviously thankfully there aren't any heralds of chaos. Chaos Chaos Demons here or anything like that there. And we have pretty much got them all on the run here, so we're just going to sort of speed all of this up, obviously skip through it. And that guy looks very, very pale there. He's just gone past. Looks almost like a vampire. Actually, I don't think, unfortunately, there is the vampire count, obviously, in this game, which is almost a shame. I think somebody that would be quite a good little army for them to add in if they ever were to develop this mod further. I'm not 100% sure if it is still being worked on. I mean, it looks pretty solid and complete, so I don't think it is still being sort of actively worked on in that sense, at least. And so we obviously managed to take them down pretty easily there. So we're going to obviously move forward again with Count Wolfram to try and hopefully be able to maybe push a little bit of land in further into their lands and claim some sort of early victories for the war in the Northern Waste against the Chaos. We do obviously decide we're going to try and raid one of their villages. However, first we do obviously have to actually take out the bandits that are taking it first before we basically move ourselves in. This is a pretty simple fight. Obviously, bandits not exactly heavily armored and that, so even with our armor, we will likely be able to, you know, remove them pretty simply, really. And so we're just going to, this one, wade in, start swinging our sword really from the vantage point of being on a horse. It's something that we should be able to take out a good couple of guys before we're in any sort of real danger or anything like that, obviously. So we're going to just keep going down. Obviously, you can see our forces behind us, though, are steadily sort of pushing up and managing to take down these guys. There is obviously quite a few of the militia and farmers who do get knocked unconscious and things like that. Thankfully, due to my character's skills, which obviously I did pop up earlier on for you, I have got quite decent surgery, so I am managing to actually save them from just straight outright dying quite a lot of the time, which means that hopefully we are going to see very much a case where our armies aren't actually just getting depleted as much. As you can see there, we lost 3 guys ourselves, but they were all wounded. None of them were actually killed, which obviously makes things a lot better for us, means we're not going to have to go and recruit any extra men and things like that. So here we do manage to actually, you know, raid this village. However, as dawn comes, Michael does see an army of a Chaos Lord come over the hill. Unfortunately, they massively outnumber us. We didn't have time to actually get out of the way, so we do have to make the choice to ultimately leave some men behind to cover our retreat, just to give us enough time to be able to actually get away. Something that we are able to do. We are able to get be a lot faster than him and everything, and so we are going to quite simply run like our lives dependent on it. However, as we are running, as you can see here, we have unfortunately walked into another actual Chaos army. It looks like they've just came back from raiding and they are quite severely depleted. There's only 14 of them, which is, you know, a pretty good thing. We should be able to actually take out these forces if it wasn't for the fact that, as you can see here, that they do have quite a few Chaos guys with them, which is obviously going to the actual, you know, Herald Chaos Knights and things like that are pretty much just going to cut through our militia and things like that, which is not an ideal situation that we obviously want to be in. And so we are going to, though, do our best, and then of course obviously the demons of the Heralds of Khorne, Chaos Demons, do come in, and so I think it is safe to say that this battle is not going to go in our best interest, but, you know, we can maybe at least take out a couple of them, you know, before we go, sort of thing, ideally. And obviously we'll see how that goes, and who knows, you know, might at least be able to make them, you know, regret having a little bit sort of decided to take those on and not just gone straight back to their actual kingdom. However, that is something that we have decided. We are going to get out of this battle. I think it's safe to say that this is not something that was going to go well for us. As you can see there, the damage that we're doing, I mean, we're doing 0 damage at that point and things like that. We only actually managed to kill 3 of their guys, which is obviously a lot less than we would have liked for the amount of guys that we lost. So we are going to head back to the Empire and get away, hopefully nice and safely. We do seem to be keeping ahead of this guy, although it is a pretty close one. So we will just probably, there we go, skip ahead a little bit. And so as you can see here, obviously we've managed to get back to the Empire near Middenheim, and this guy has literally followed us the whole way. He was determined to actually keep us, but we do have a quest though here to go and visit a lady. actually, Lady Alina. So we're going to go and visit her. Obviously, the romance in this game is pretty basic, but it does its job sort of thing. It's a nice little distraction from the combat and leading your armies and everything. And obviously, it does increase your right to rule and things like that, and your respect by other lords if you do manage to actually marry in this game. So it is something that I do tend to do as a little bit of a side thing as well at the same time. And so here we have now managed to do that. We've managed to wait a little bit until the actual Chaos guy has decided to run away. We do have some items to sell, so we are going to have to get rid of those at some point, probably go back to Middenheim and sell those. But we'll skip ahead again. Like I say, we're just trying to recruit some forces. It does actually seem like the actual Empire's forces are actually pretty, so I would say, worn out and things like that. So it may be a case at some point soon we may have to actually look at going somewhere else to actually recruit our levies here. And here, as we are travelling around, we do run into a force of 3 trolls. This is something that we are going to try and take these on. I think it's something we might actually be able to do. We are obviously, as I mentioned in the past, if we do stay mobile, they are pretty large pondering units. So if we manage to keep our distance, you know, let our archers hit them while we're distracting them with the actual shooting them with our pistol, something a weapon that I think is going to become quite useful in this fight. But so we're just going to basically keep circling around them, picking off health when and as we can. Oh, managed to do quite a good bit of damage there with 41 damage and 85 speed bonus to our damage, so definitely a good one for that. So we are going to just sort of keep this army going, you know, and they are obviously picking off, and I imagine it's sort of hitting them with the odd arrow. Whether it's actually doing any damage remains to be seen, but at the very least, you know, it is managing to maybe take out an extra 1 or 2, and then obviously we will be able to hit them with quite a lot of damage from pistols. Firearms do tend to do a decent bit of damage. As you've seen there, delivered 36 damage to the troll and managed to actually take him down. Again, 720 experience as well, so quite a big chunk of experience. And there we go, one of the foresters, the archer guys, have actually managed to take down that troll by picking him off with extra bit of damage there. And so we shoot and take down the other one. So there we go, 3 trolls down with over 2,100 experience between ourselves and our forces. So quite a nice little bit there, but we're going to skip ahead. Obviously you will see that our numbers have gone up and the Chaos have moved to actually raid into the Empire. So we are going to pay them back for what they did to us up in the Northern Waste, joining up with all of the other lords to be able to have a decent, you know, couple hundred size army here, and obviously our troops on top of that as well of only 30 or so. I think it's safe to say that's something that we are going to need to improve those, and also as well at some point when we have some actual money and everything, maybe a case that we do need to look at getting some actual sort of specific named characters and things like that to follow us around, and maybe a better, you know, better able to help us and things like that. But obviously that is something we will have to take at a later date, as they are quite expensive to sort of get in the first place. But obviously it does mean that they don't just die, they will always get knocked unconscious, and obviously I think they can potentially disappear if obviously you lose a battle and they are captured and things like that, but you can then reclaim them at a later day. You can obviously improve their armor and tail them very much as a complete new character, so definitely something that we will have to look at doing here. Obviously you can see there are a lot of Chaos Knights in this game. Obviously we're getting bogged down a little bit, starting to get quite a little bit damaged as well and things like that, so obviously we are going to have to just, you know, keep a little bit further away and, you know, try and make sure that we are, you know, picking off guys. Unfortunately though, we get kind of sandwiched between a couple of actual knights there. Again, not the situation we want to be in, so, you know, we're just going to keep moving out and potting around. One of the things I do like about this game is definitely the mountain combat. I mean, it's in the title. The ground combat is something that is well, it's not terrible, but it is something that isn't really anything spectacular. Obviously, this is really, the mounted combat is where this game shines a bit, you know, with obviously faster you're going, the larger it'll take for turning circles and things like that, and really just, you know, developing that side of the game, which is something where, to be honest, in a lot of roleplay games, I always get the feeling that horses, basically, they just kind of increase your speed rather than actually, you know, working like a horse would. Similar, obviously, with this game where, you know, you can do increased damage if you're moving faster, and obviously, you know, on the charge, you know, you're going to be able to use, you know, put that weight of the swing behind it, which obviously going to, you know, make it a lot more effective. And here you can see we do have a couple of guys chasing behind us. We do obviously have a really decent horse here. However, unfortunately, it is a case that because he is so heavily armored that he isn't actually able to do get quite as big a, you know, get as much speed and things like that as we would probably like. But, you know, that isn't, you know, a massive issue. It does obviously just mean that if we do ever need to get away from marauders and things like that, obviously they're going to be pretty much keeping up and keeping pace with us, and obviously things like that if we ever do get into those situations, which obviously we have been in a few times in the past. And there we go, you just see that unfortunately did hit a friendly unit there, which is a shame because it was 117 damage, something that would have been very, very useful to actually do to the enemy guy if we had managed to make contact with that hit. And so this battle here is starting to unfortunately not go our way, as obviously, you know, how thick the armour for the Chaos Knights are. Unfortunately, it is just a case that they are just quite simply starting to wear us down. And there we go, we are unfortunately knocked unconscious. So we are going to move back into the battle though, just due to the sheer number of men that we have. Even though they were starting to get the upper hand with us and everything, it is actually a case that we are still going to wear them down in a Pyrrhic victory. So a victory where, while we will probably be victorious, the amount of, you know, effort it takes to do it is unfortunately something that is probably going to be quite high, where in effect it wasn't really a victory at all. And that is something there that I absolutely love, that charge for that one, of all the pistoliers and everything coming over the hill. Definitely is a great view for me to have been in that situation. And so as you can see, there we go, that actual not Corn actually, no, because he's Undivided Knight was pretty much cutting through our guys there, but we go through, managed to take down another Chaos Warrior. So this battle is going pretty well, you know, managing to wear them down. Like I say, just due to the sheer numbers, while they may be killing several of our guys, they are really feeling it when they actually lose a troop. And so we're going to, obviously they do still have a Herald of Khorne, and definitely somebody who can take quite a bit of damage and do quite a bit of damage to us at the same time, although we do manage to take him down. That's something I do like to focus on, as they will obviously cause a lot of problems to our forces, and also as well, got to admit, they do actually do give quite a bit of experience. So this battle is pretty much running out here, so we're going to leave it after this one and continue on next time. So we'll just say thank you very much for watching. Obviously be sure to let me know your thoughts on this mod in the comments below, and as always, for more videos regularly, please do be sure to subscribe here at EGN, and she'll see you next time.